Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Bianca and I am currently, when I'm filming this, in my third trimester, but today we are doing my second trimester recap. So I have some notes on my phone of things that that were noteworthy things to mention that went on during my second trimester, but I can't believe we're already in the third, so I was like, man, I better go ahead and film this video and get it up for you guys. Second trimester is the best trimester. Also, my husband and my brother-in-law are currently out there playing like some type of video game, so if you hear them scream, that is that. I decided to come in here and film my trimester recap. So as always, I asked you guys questions on my Instagram stories, so if you're not following me over there and you want to be a part of the third trimester recap and also labor and delivery recap or postpartum recap, then definitely make sure you are following over there so you can respond to the question box on stories next time. Any other questions, feel free to leave them below about the second trimester, but we are mainly just focusing on the second trimester in today's video. Second trimester, best trimester. It is true what they say, at least for me. I didn't have that many crazy things happen in my second trimester and my symptoms were actually pretty great. Basically my first trimester recap, I will have that one linked below. It was a little bit longer. So ideally go ahead and put me on in the background. This is just a little sit down video. If you guys know, I normally vlog, but you know, make your coffee, multitask, do whatever you gotta do. So first of all, my nausea completely went away around 17 or 18 weeks. So basically, if you watch my first trimester recap, I did not get sick once. I was super nauseous, but I never actually threw up and I never had morning sickness, anything like that. Same thing holds true for my second trimester, and just like the nausea throughout the day or when I eat and stuff went away around like 16, 17, like maybe even 18 weeks. I just like didn't notice it anymore and it was amazing. So I 10 out of 10 recommend just pushing through and knowing that hopefully it does get better, but also sometimes it doesn't for some people. Like every pregnancy is so different, so it's really hard sometimes to speak on your experiences because I don't want you guys to think that that's going to be the same case for you. I think one thing that helped a lot during every single trimester and every single week that I've been pregnant is I've continued to exercise 4 to 5 times a week. So I'll touch on that in a little bit, but I do think that that's helped a lot with nausea. The nausea did go away, thankfully. That was like the number one noteworthy thing I have on here is the nausea went away. The most crazy symptom I experienced was a little bit of spotting at 25 weeks. And that was just like a one-time thing, and then I ended up having to call the OB because it scared me, and they just said to watch it, and it was just a little bit and then it never happened again, and so I'm thankful it never happened again. Indigestion. I did find out from an ultrasound that baby girl has hair. I don't know how much, but I know she's got hair, which explains my indigestion and all the things. Like I said, I never got sick from morning sickness or anything like that. I did get sick a total of 3 times though in my second trimester. Twice from being car sick. So my brother-in-law actually goes to Cornell and we road tripped to Cornell twice during my second trimester to watch his football games, and both times on the way there, as soon as we got to the hotel, I never threw up in the car, but from being car sick, as soon as we got to the hotel, I threw up both times on 2 separate occasions. So the first time it happened and I was like, wow, that was bizarre. I can't believe I just did that. And then the second time it happened, I was like, wow, I just must get car sick. So that was the first 2 times, and then the last time that I got sick was actually in Mexico. So Colin and I took our baby moon around 20 and 21 weeks. It was like midway through there, so I turned a new week over the weekend while we were there, and I ended up getting food poisoning again. Like, it could have happened to anybody. It could have happened to Colin. I ate a spicy chorizo sausage. I know exactly what happened. At breakfast, Colin did not eat it. That was the only thing different that I ate that he didn't eat, and instantly I thought it tasted weird. My stomach started hurting right after we had breakfast, and later that day I was throwing up. It was 100% food poisoning, and you know, it just happens, but I recovered. But that's another thing to note is Colin and I did travel out of the country during my second trimester. We actually didn't have to get COVID tested to get there, and then to get back we had to just have a negative COVID test. We went to the Excellence Resort in Playa Mujeres. I can never say that correctly, but I have a whole vlog of that, so I will link that down below for you guys, and it has more details about that. But we did end up doing a baby moon, and it was such a good decision. It was actually pretty much our honeymoon that ended up turning into a baby moon. It was so fun, and I definitely recommend taking at least like a vacation, whether it's within the country or out of the country. Right now with Omicron, I probably would have stayed in the country. We went when things were looking better for the COVID situation. But yeah, we're done with the trips though, no more traveling, but we did do that around 20 and 21 weeks, and I felt like it was a really good time to travel because my nausea went away and I wasn't like super uncomfortable like I am now, and I could really enjoy it. I could eat whatever I wanted because I wasn't having any food aversions, which pretty much went away when the nausea went away. I think around like the 20 to 25 week time period is a really good time to take a baby moon if you're interested in doing that, wherever it maybe. We did do the blood gender test early and confirmed at our 20-week anatomy scan, which is something that's fun that you get to, she's kicking me really hard in my side. It's something fun that you get to do in your second trimester is your anatomy scan. So you just get to make sure that everything with your anatomy is looking normal, which was our case, thankfully. I'm so thankful. And we confirmed that we are having a baby girl. So she will be here so soon now. But that is just something you get to look forward to is your anatomy scan. So the appointments start to get a little bit more fun in your second trimester. They still do just have you come in and then tell you to go. Like, your appointments are so quick, but it was fun to get to do the anatomy scan, and that was the only ultrasound that I got done during my second trimester. So really take advantage of that if you can. Other than that, I was fine. I never was sick. I started developing a little bit of sciatic pain, so that's really common in pregnancy, and that's pretty much like kind of in your hip area, and it was only on my right side, and there were some days where it was just terrible and other days where I didn't feel it at all. You can do stretches for your piriformis, which I already knew because if you didn't know, I used to be a certified personal trainer, and there's like a lot of chapters on hip mobility when I was studying, so I instantly knew like where I was hurting and what I needed to do to stretch. But you could just look up piriformis stretches or sciatic pain stretches, and whenever I did that, it really relieved the pain, and it also slowly decreased the amount of sciatic pain I was getting. Now thankfully I get little to none of like the sciatic pain. It's like once in a blue moon I'll have sciatic pain, so that was really good. But that was really the only pain that I had, and that was like the most noticeable symptom, honestly, for me, was my sciatic pain. So let's jump over and talk about working out. Working out is so good in pregnancy, and for me, all I've been doing is going to Orange Theory. It's so easy, it's quick, it's in and out. The coaches help me. I see my coach Emily a lot, and she's had a baby, and so she's been pregnant, so she knows what exercises are safe and what's not safe. I kept going 4 to 5 times a week, but mainly 5 times a week. And I ran the whole time. I will have my belly band that I used from Amazon linked down below, but essentially it just kind of like locks everything in, so that way I don't feel like my belly's bouncing everywhere, and it really helped me not feel like sore after in my belly or anything like that. So if you're interested, you can 100% run while you're pregnant. The only adjustment that I made was I never once let my heart rate get in the red zone and let it get too high. So I think that's around like 165 BPM maybe on my watch, on my Apple Watch, but never let it get in the red zone. So I would essentially run the pushes and the all outs, and I would walk all the bases to make sure I gave my heart rate enough time to come down and it wouldn't get too high. And if it ever did get too high, for instance, like in the middle of a push, if I was getting towards the red, I would immediately walk, because it's not healthy to have your heart rate up really high. But the coaches always had my back and always gave me options, and around 20 weeks is when I stopped doing exercises on my back, laying flat on my back. So you just have to do options. The coaches give you options at Orange Theory, which is great, but from being a personal trainer, I kind of already know what I can and can't do and like what I could do instead. So they don't really have to tell me what to do very often, just because I have experience in that field. But yeah, working out is so good. Building your pelvic floor strength and your glutes and your quads and all that is gonna help me a lot during labor. So if I ever did an option, it was mainly like glute and like leg focused predominantly, knowing that those muscles are gonna be very important when it comes time to deliver baby girl. That's all for the working out, and I 10 out of 10 recommend. And if you can, if you're trying to get pregnant or anything like that, definitely start working out because it's easier to bounce back, I've heard, and it's just better for your overall health during your pregnancy. And also I think it helped with morning sickness. So if you've been contemplating that, or even like just want to start getting into working out just a little bit, I recommend going to Orange Theory because the workouts are set up for you, and also it's a safe environment to be working out in if you are not sure the correct form, technique, or what you should be doing. So that's my little spiel on that. Okay, by the way, if you're new here, I'm sitting in the nursery and my rocking chair is literally amazing. So good. I have the questions pulled up. We're gonna go through this, and some of you guys ask questions that dive more into like mental health and preparation for baby and things like that. So we'll cover all those things there, but I just wanted to get like my symptoms and what I've been doing during my second trimester, or what I did during my second trimester, out of the way. Fave pregnancy leggings and bras. My fave pregnancy leggings are Lululemon Align leggings. So good. And also the energy bras I like because they're very supportive from Lululemon. But just like standard bras and even underwear, the Auden brand from Target is so good and so inexpensive compared to other places that sell bras and underwear. So I would look that up. I have my bras, my favorite bras and underwear, linked down below on my Like to Know It. Next question is, how do you deal with all the change? Body changes, life, diet, everything. And I'm naturally just kind of like a go with the flow person. It has been hard for me to like see how different my body is now compared to how it was, especially around the wedding, because I was in like the best shape ever. So it's kind of like, oh my god, I used to look like that. Like I say that all the time, but at the same time I'm quite literally growing a human, and this is just a season of life that I'm going through right now. So I like love what my body's doing, obviously. So it's just kind of easy for me to accept it because it's like I've always dreamt of being pregnant. It's like always been in the plans for me one day personally. So it's like, it's finally here, it's happening. So I just kind of like embrace it. Life, I've been so much more lenient. Like I used to have to get up at 5, go to the gym, be back, do this, do that. I have given myself so much grace during pregnancy. If I feel like taking a nap, I take a nap. I just had to change my camera battery. And if my body's exhausted and I don't feel like working out, I don't work out. I let my body rest. Like it's a lot of just listening to your body, and also just not being hard on yourself. Like you're quite literally, your body is working overtime to grow a human, and it's just like crazy. It still is crazy to me that there's a person inside of me right now. I think it's just, don't be hard on yourself. Like you are literally experiencing something that is crazy, and that like if you're tired, you're emotional, you're upset sometimes, you're happy sometimes, like you could, I can go from 0 to 100 in like 5 minutes, but like that's okay. I'm pregnant. Like it's fine. My whole motto has just been like everything happens for a reason, and I just think like the #1 thing you can do is not be hard on yourself and just experience whatever emotions you need to experience whatever changes you need to experience, and just have the mindset of like, I'm doing the best that I can. And that's what I did, and I think that that helped me out a lot. And also just like, this was what God's plan was for us. This is what the plan is for me. Sometimes I still do get sad that it's like crazy that my time with just me and Colin is coming to an end. Oh my god. See, oh my god, when you get in your 3rd trimester, you cry over everything. That's another thing, like my emotions weren't crazy in my 2nd trimester. I felt the most like myself in my 2nd trimester. But now, oh my god, I feel like the minute I turned into my 3rd trimester, I was like the most hormonal person ever, and I have been ever since. But your hormones really, like, I feel like kind of slow down and like chill out in your 2nd trimester. But yeah, you kind of just have to like take life as it is, and like whatever comes your way, you just have to take it, and you respond how you control how you respond to situations in life. So you can either look at it in a negative way or a positive way, and whatever happens, you can either sit there and feel bad for yourself, or you can just put your best foot forward and just kind of like get through it and put a smile on your face and say, I got this. And that's pretty much what I did. Next question is, how's the sleep in your second trimester? So good. I slept like a baby my second trimester. Get yourself a pregnancy pillow. They're amazing. And my sleep was 10 out of 10. Now is a whole nother story, but we'll talk about that in the third trimester video. Another question is influencer moms I look up to. So definitely Milena Ciciotti is an influencer mom I look up to a lot, and Sarah's Day. And like Aspen Ovard. I'm trying to think of like other moms. Chelsea. There's a lot of people who I follow who just had babies. So, you know, it's like they haven't really like had like or have been a mom for very long. So yeah, but definitely Milena Ciciotti, I think, for sure. Another question is, am I having a baby shower? And yes, I am. It's next month. Okay, I knew this question was gonna come up. So a question is, how is being intimate with your partner when you're pregnant? And honestly, I think that no matter what trimester you're in, it's just different and it's challenging because you really don't feel like yourself. Like, I felt the most like myself in my second trimester, but I still didn't feel like myself, if you know what that means, obviously, because your body's still going through so many different changes. So I think like doing the best you can is what you can do, but I will say it does get better in the second trimester. The first trimester is like a downhill battle, and then the second trimester you're like on the rise. So I do think that things get better. You just have to like prioritize that, but also I think it's important for your partner to realize how many different changes you're going through and how many different feelings you're feeling. And so it's certainly been like different being pregnant, but I will say it gets better in the second trimester. But then again, you still don't feel like yourself. So it's just like, you know, it's not weird, but it's different. And you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna ask what the most memorable moment of my second trimester was, and definitely my anatomy scan, because that's really the first time you see the baby. Or no, gender reveal. Definitely gender reveal. Anatomy scan and gender reveal in one. But I knew the whole time it was a girl, and when it was a girl, I was very, very excited. So was Colin. We both kind of wanted a girl first. Like, we just always envisioned having a girl first, but yeah, the gender reveal is definitely my most memorable. I think I could never be surprised at birth. Like, I'm just not that type of person. I'm always gonna have to have a gender reveal of some sort. Or like, next time though, I kind of want Colin and I to find out first, and then us like surprise our family. I think that that'd be cute. I started also rubbing oil and like lotion on my belly in my second trimester. You can start it as soon as you find out you're pregnant. I didn't start until around my second trimester. I'll have both the products I used linked down below, but I used the Summer Fridays, and I still do use both of these. Summer Fridays Belly Moon Belly Balm, which is so good. It's so thick. It's such a nice consistency. And then also pair that with the Necessaire body oil, and it's like chef's kiss. Such a good combo. And I will say though, stretch marks are genetic, and my aunt, my mom, and my grandma, none of them had stretch marks, and so I don't have any yet. Like, some might pop up, but I still have been doing that just in case. And also, your belly just gets so dry and itchy, so it's good to keep it hydrated. I do it like 2 to 3 times a day, apply the belly oil and the lotion. Okay, let's talk about weight gain. Honestly, I enjoy gaining weight and seeing the number go up, because that means she's getting bigger. But from the weight that I was at the wedding, which was like 10 pounds lighter than I like normally weigh on a regular basis, I've gained like 40 pounds. So essentially 30 if you don't include the weight that I lost for the wedding. I've gained around like 30-ish pounds. That's fine with me. I don't care. I could gain more and I'd be fine with it. It's just kind of like whatever. Like, my whole, like, it's just, you can't judge yourself and you can't be hard on yourself. Don't do that. That is like, it's not even worth it. Like, just live your best life. Okay, the question I got, and you really start feeling baby kicks in the second trimester, and this question is, what will you miss most about pregnancy? And it's definitely the baby kicks. I started feeling them around like, I really started feeling them around 24, 23 weeks. It's like sort of feels like flutters at first, and then eventually they're just like moving around in there. So it's really cool. So that's something to definitely look forward to in your second trimester. And that's definitely the number one thing that I'm going to miss, is my little bump with the baby kicks. Once you start feeling the kicks, it's really, really fun. Now she just kicks and kicks and kicks all the time. Another question is, did I get my energy back? And yes, absolutely. It was like around 22 weeks, I felt so good. I would have a coffee during the day. I never had to take naps really during my second trimester. The napping and stuff kind of like went away from me around like week 16, 17. So yeah, I only started taking naps again now in my third trimester, but you get so much energy back. It's crazy how much energy you get back. So definitely look forward to that if you're about to enter into your second trimester, or if you just entered your second trimester. But yeah, I definitely had way more like motivation, and like during the day I didn't feel like I could barely keep my eyes open like I did in my first trimester. Like I would sit there on the couch in my first trimester and I could not stay awake, and it's totally different in your second trimester. Another question is, have I experienced any heartburn or indigestion? And I kind of mentioned that earlier in this video, but yes, absolutely, heartburn, indigestion, all the things, which are signs of having a baby with hair. So stay tuned for the labor and birth vlog to see how much hair she has and to find out her name and all the things. Okay, so the next question is honestly my favorite question, and it says, now that you are expecting in your early 20s, would you still wait until your late 20s if you could? And honestly, no. If anything, I would have maybe waited like a year of me and Colin being married and like had our year anniversary. Like this baby's gonna come before Colin and I even have our year anniversary of being married, so maybe I've like been married for a year, but you know, it happens. But I would not wait. I think that I'll be turning 25 the month after I have her, and I honestly think that that's a really good age, like when you think about it. But everyone's at different life stages, you know, like I'm saying I think 25 is a good age, but then there's someone who would think that 25 is like way too young. So honestly, I think it's whatever's best for you. But I will say I am happy that we started now, because now hopefully I'll have all my babies by like my early 30s, and I will still be young and have the energy to play with them and to like be the best mom that I can. And I'm really happy with how everything turned out, and I am totally fine with being like a younger mom, if that makes sense. Another question is, what scares you the most, or if at all, about moving into the third trimester? And I just remember when the third trimester was approaching, I was like, this is literally the last trimester. I use the What to Expect app, and it's just like the pregnancy app, but that one's my favorite to use. And on it you get like a little line, and it fills in over like a bar graph of what trimester you're in. And I would just always remember, like at first it would just like barely fill up, and then all of a sudden it just goes like way over. Like now, here, let me just pull it up for you guys. Now it's so close. So I'm 34 weeks tomorrow, which is crazy. I should have probably filmed this video a little earlier, but like I said, my motivation is lacking. But yeah, so here's my little bar graph right now, and as you can see, it's like already into the third one. But it's just so funny because I was like, wow, this third, like that's the last trimester. I was just more so scared because I'm not even like scared, but like it's just getting more real. Like she's gonna come out, we're gonna have a baby, like we're gonna bring a baby home with us, and this is like the final stretch. And so I feel like in your second trimester you're just chilling and you're like, wow, okay, this is great. But then in your third trimester you start to like get in nesting mode, and you start to be like, okay, we need this, and it's just kind of like a little bit more stressful, and I have a little bit more anxiety. But in my second trimester I was honestly just chilling. So I think just approaching and knowing that this is like the final stretch, and like she will come in this next trimester, is crazy. And that was what scared me the most, because when you're in your first trimester you're like, wow, I have all these months left, and then when you're in your second trimester you're like, okay, halfway there, and then third trimester you're like, okay, she's coming like in a few weeks. So it's just kind of funny how that happens. And also in like my first trimester and like kind of midway through my second trimester, I would check this app religiously. Every day I was there for my daily tip and all the things. And then now towards the end of my pregnancy and towards the end of my second trimester, I'm not checking it as often. Like it just kind of becomes like more of a like, yeah, okay, I'm pregnant, like, yeah, we're like almost there. But in the beginning you're so like into it. And I was listening to like all these podcasts, all these things, all these videos of like what to do when you first bring your baby home, like labor and delivery prep, what you need to know. I will say, if you want to watch very, very informative videos, look up the Doctors Bjorkman, Bjorkman. It's a husband and wife who, the husband is a pediatrician and the wife is an OBGYN, and they make very, very good factual based like science-based, medically based videos about a newborn, and she was actually pregnant when they started filming the videos, and those videos have helped me so much. So if you just look up the doctors, BJORK, and they'll come up, and they're such a sweet couple too. I really enjoyed watching their videos. I still watch a video like whenever they put it out, because they're just really informative, and they've helped me prepare a lot. Like, she even has videos down to like how to use and work your breast pump, like so good. So I definitely recommend that. But yeah, I think that just like knowing that this is my final stretch and like the last few months is very crazy. But I'm gonna go ahead and end on that. If you guys want like more info or anything, I vlog literally weekly, every day, all the time. So I share a lot of like just what's happening in like the day-to-day of my pregnancy. So definitely make sure you check out the vlogs. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you're having a great day. And don't forget, if I didn't answer a question that you have that's like super pressing, just leave it down below and I will get to the comments. And I will see you guys in my next video.